The story opens with a flashback. Humanity once over-relied on fossil fuels, gas, coal, petroleum, draining the Earth of its vital natural resources. As these resources dried up, human conflict erupted. Wars broke out. Chaos followed. In the face of this collapse, scientists worked around the clock and finally developed a limitless energy source. But instead of bringing peace, the new system sparked a different crisis. People began to feel exposed and insecure, haunted by their physical flaws. Over time, society divided itself into separate districts based on appearance. Years went by like this. Then came another breakthrough. Scientists introduced a solution they called transformers. When someone turned 16, they'd be placed inside a special machine that would alter their appearance, making them flawless, stunningly beautiful. The hope was that, if everyone looked the same, maybe discrimination would disappear. But the system had one serious flaw. Only those 16 and older could undergo the transformation. The younger ones, those who hadn't reached the age, were exiled to an isolated facility. They were ignored, treated like they didn't even exist. There were very great possibles. As it's called, these kids were called Uglies. Now, the story shifts. We meet Tally, a girl just shy of her 16th birthday, counting down the days until she'll finally be transformed and start her life in the city, a place reserved only for the beautiful. One night, Tally sneaks out to meet her best friend. The two often meet in secret, using high-tech gear to spy on the city from a distance, watching how the transformed people live, longing to join them. Tally has 3 months to go, but her friend has just turned 16. His transformation is scheduled for the next morning. Tally looks at him and says, longingly, "Don't forget me once you're beautiful." He smiles, softly, "I'll wait for you." The next day, a massive crowd gathers in a grand hall for the transformation ceremony. A hologram of a city official appears, promising everyone a new beginning. Tally's friend is chosen and walks away with a big smile. But once he's gone, Tally feels a deep, sinking emptiness. She messages him again and again, but gets no response. Anxiety eats at her until she decides she can't wait anymore. She has to see him. So she sneaks into the city. Along the way, she finds a mask that makes her look transformed, undeniably beautiful. Disguised, she manages to reach him. At first, she's thrilled. But during their conversation, she realizes something's wrong. Her friend has changed. The connection they once had, it's gone. Suddenly, a city guard scans her. The system detects she's an unauthorized outsider. Tally runs. She escapes, stumbles upon a high-tech jacket, and leaps off a tall building. The jacket activates mid-fall, saving her life. She hides beneath a bridge, shaken. Just then, a surveillance ship spots her. But an unfamiliar girl, Shay, appears out of nowhere, outsmarts the guard, and helps Tally escape. Grateful, Tally thanks her, and the two quickly become friends. Later, Tally explains why she came. To see her best friend, but he wasn't the same anymore. The next day, Shay introduces Tally to her small circle of friends and hands her a book. As Tally reads, she starts to question everything she thought she knew. Could there really be a world outside this polished, controlled society? Shay tells her about it. A place called Smoke, and a guy named David, someone who helps people escape to live free. Tally doesn't buy it. To her, there is no world beyond the city. But Shay insists. And one night, she takes Tally beyond the border. They both remove their tracking rings so the city can't trace them. Shay leads her into a dead landscape, once full of life, now just broken ruins. "If you want," softly Shay says, "you can come with us. No rules, no labels, everyone's welcome just as they are." She goes on, determined, "I'm leaving with David. I know I'll finally be free there. If you ever change your mind, come to this address." Shay hands her a card and walks away. Tally doesn't want to lose her. She still dreams of the city, of being beautiful. But Shay won't give up her freedom, so she leaves alone. Later, it's finally Tally's turn to be transformed. One by one, names are called, but not hers. She's taken aside by the head official. Coldly, "Your friend Shay has disappeared," the official says, "and I think you know where she went." Tally denies it, but the lie detector says otherwise. Sternly, "Until you tell us the truth," the official warns, "your transformation will be on hold." She's sent back to her old dorm. The next day, a newly transformed friend visits her. Calmly, "If you cooperate," he says, "we could live in the city together. Just tell them where Shay went." Eventually, Tally breaks. She agrees to talk. The official tells her, gravely, "There's a dangerous man out there, David. He's manipulating Shay. He's building weapons, planning to destroy everything we've created." Then the official leans in and says, persuasively, "I want you to join our team. Find David. Help us stop him." Before she leaves, she's handed a small, elegant locket, confidently. "This will guide you," the official says. Tally heads to the address Shay gave her. Along the way, she sees train tracks and ends up chasing a fast-moving train. It leads her to a breathtaking field full of white flowers. She collapses from exhaustion and falls asleep. When she wakes up, the field is on fire. David appears, just in time, pulls her from the flames and saves her. While checking her gear, David finds the locket and senses something's off. He crushes Thacker hidden inside, but it's too late. The officials have already locked onto her location. He rushes her to the smoke hideout, where Tally finally reunites with Shay. She's overjoyed. After all, she came to bring her back. But Tally doesn't tell her the truth, that she's there on a mission. When Shay notices the locket and asks about it, Tally lies. It's just a gift from a friend. The next day, Tally heads out with David's team to the same field. This time, it's about to be burned again. She's confused. Why burn it down when those flowers were supposed to be an energy source? David turns to her and says, "They lied to you. Those flowers are actually destroying the soil, turning it into wasteland. That's why we have to wipe them out. For good." As the flames begin to rise, the In Charge's team suddenly storms in. In the chaos, Shay falls from a helicopter. Without hesitating, Tally leaps out and saves her. Just as one of the In Charge's men tries to capture them, the two girls scramble back into the helicopter. At first, everyone assumes Tally was behind the chaos, but when they realize she risked her life to save Shay, everything changes. Now trusted, Tally is welcomed into David's group. They take her to a hidden settlement called the Smoke. When Tally arrives, it's like stepping into another world. In Smoke, people live freely. No one is forced to do anything. They just have one rule: work hard and earn your meals. Time passes, and Tally finds a kind of peace here. She's happier than she's ever been. Then one day, Shay asks her, "Do you want to stay here or go back to your old life?" Tally doesn't answer. She just stares ahead, torn inside. Maybe a part of her still longed for her past, or maybe she just didn't know who to trust anymore. The truth was, the In Charge had told her that David was dangerous, that he had deadly weapons and couldn't be trusted. But the moment she arrived at Smoke, the truth looked nothing like what she'd been told. David even took her to meet his parents, who knew what really went on in the city. What his father revealed shook Tally to her core. "You were probably never told this," David's father said, "but people have died during the transformation process, and those who survived, their minds were changed completely. Their emotions, their compassion, even their humanity, wiped out. They became hollow copies of themselves. When I realized the In Charge had gone too far, we escaped and built a life here. I've been working in my lab ever since, trying to create a serum that could bring people back to who they really are. There was one missing piece, still in the In Charge's lab. If they could get it, they could finish the cure and start testing." With her doubts finally cleared, Tally throws the locket the In Charge gave her into the fire, ready to leave her old life behind and stay with David and his family. But that locket was actually a hidden tracking device, and its destruction set off an alert. Soon, the In Charge arrives with her team demanding to know where David is. His father refuses to say a word. In a shocking turn, one of Tally's old friends, now working for the In Charge, kills David's father. Furious, Tally yells, "You said no one would get hurt." The villagers suddenly realize Tally had come under the In Charge's orders. It was because of her that they were found. Panic erupts. The In Charge starts capturing the villagers. Amid the chaos, Tally escapes and triggers a massive explosion, giving David time to get away. But by then, the In Charge had already taken the rest of his team. When Tally finds David, he's furious, but she pleads with him. "I never meant for any of this to happen. I came because I care about you, and I still do. Let me help. I'll do whatever it takes to save your people." Together, they set out for the city. Since Tally had once lived there, she knew every alley and back road. They sneak in, find the prisoners, and break them out. That's when Tally spots Shay and is stunned. She's been transformed, and she actually loves her new self. Suddenly, the In Charge appears and captures all three of them and locks them inside the transformation chamber. Just as it powers up, one of David's friends swoops in with a helicopter and sets the lab on fire. The machine is destroyed, and the trio is rescued. In the chaos, David's mother manages to steal the serum. As they make their escape, Tally's old friend confronts them and viciously attacks David. To protect him, Tally steps in, pushing her friend into a deep ravine. He doesn't survive. The group finally leaves the city behind. At their new hideout, David's mom says, We still have time. I have both serums. I can finish the cure. But the question remains, who will be the first to test it? Tally suggests Shay, but Shay refuses. She sees herself as beautiful now, and she doesn't want to go back. So Tally steps forward. Then I'll do it. I'll go through the transformation and use the serum. If it works, if I can return to who I was, then we'll know the cure is real, and we can help everyone. Not long after, the in-charge returns and forcibly transforms Tally. She emerges looking flawless, perfect by society's standards. But Tally knows what she has to do. She's ready to use the serum, ready to bring people back to who they really are. And that's where the story ends, on a note of courage and hope for a new beginning.